Hello and welcome to the Football Academy. I am your host Pranav, and today I'll be talking about practical aspects of individual training that you need to focus on as a beginner. If you're looking to start training individually and are looking for some guidance on how you can get started and how to get the most out of your individual training sessions, you've come to the right place. First things first, equipment. This really depends on your budget. I just recommend getting a set of cones, a football and some football boots to get started. But if you're willing to spend more money, which you don't have to, you can buy a set of agility ladder, agility poles and maybe some hurdles. Honestly, to get started, you just need a set of cones. You can get these for around $10. That's all you need to spend, assuming you already have a football and some football boots. Because if you don't, it might be a bit of a problem. Let's go into scheduling your training session. This depends on many things. Firstly, what period of the season you're currently in. Season is broken into pre-season, competitive phase and off-season. Pre-season is more focused on fitness and getting ready for the season ahead. While the season, it's about staying sharp and prepared for the weekly games. Off-season is when you do most individual training sessions. This is when your season has ended and you have a break before your next season starts. As a beginner, if you're going to club football training for 2 times a week and you have a game every weekend, then I recommend you only need 1 or 2 individual training sessions a week. But if you aren't playing for a team, or let's say it's off season, then you can do about 4 or 5 training sessions a week individually. This all depends. Overtraining is not effective, it's just a quicker path to an injury. Not training enough, well, I don't really need to get into much detail on why that isn't that helpful. I would say you need at least 1 or 2 rest days a week. The day after a game you typically rest, and maybe the day before as well. And depending on how much time you have left throughout the week, plan your training sessions and how many sessions you'll be doing per week. In this video, I'm just giving you guys things to think about if you're planning to get into football training individually. If you want me to show you full training sessions focused on different skills and different drills, please do comment down below. And if you're finding this video helpful so far, just go and hit that like button. Much appreciated. Back to the video. A full session is about 90 minutes. Remember, your sessions are about how effective it is rather than how long you're training. Warm-up runs for around 10 to 15 minutes. Start with some light jogging, which can help you increase your heart rate gradually. Move into some dynamic stretches, so you're doing stretches where you're moving your body. And finally, get a feel of the ball. Some juggles, ball mastery, getting a feel of the ball. You spend about 45 minutes doing skill training. You may want to focus on one specific skill or incorporate multiple different skills. I've got dribbling drills on the white card above, or the 1000 touch workout. If that's what you want to watch, go click right there. Conditioning takes about 10 to 15 minutes. I recommend doing sprints, agility and some high intensity stuff to finish the session. Cool down about 5 minutes. Light jog, very light, to ease back into rest mode. And static stretches, stretching different areas of your legs such as your quads, hammies and calves. Key things to keep in mind when it comes to training. Technique. Ensure you're doing the drills with the right technique. It doesn't really matter about going quick in the beginning, it's about using the right technique. Intensity. This will be something you need to understand as a player. Intensity is how hard you work. In your training sessions, you're trying to replicate the intensity that will be there on game day. The harder you train, the better you will perform during a game. Keep in mind to increase your intensity as you become a better player, as you become more experienced. But to start with, you can start with moderate intensity and really just focus on doing the right movement and learning the basics. Specificity. Is your training specific to you as a player? This depends on the position you play. A striker will spend a lot more time practicing shooting and finishing compared to a defender. As a beginner, however, just focus on the foundational skills, but this is something you'll need to think about further down the track. With training in the long term, you're trying to make it as match realistic as possible. As a beginner, you can start by isolating different skills and doing it in a predictable environment. Closing the skill down is what it's called, like the cone weave. But to make it more match realistic, you have to open the skill up. This can be done by making the drill more unpredictable. Add a defender if you can, or a reaction element. All these things to make the drill more match realistic, meaning it replicates the game environment. Start, however, by closing the skill down. Finally, progressive overload. There's something called diminishing returns. As you get better as a player, you begin to see the rates of improvement begin to slow down, reaching a plateau. So you'll need to progressively make training more and more challenging. For example, you may start by doing a drill 3 sets, 3 reps, but as you get better, let's say in 1 or 2 week time, you can change it from 3 sets to 4 sets, making it more challenging because you're doing a greater load. Just an example. Basically, you're just trying to make training more challenging as you progress forward. I just wanted to touch on some basic principles of training in this video. Don't worry if all this information is overwhelming. Implement little things and you can always come back to this video. I just want to let you know the possible direction you might want to head in the long term, and just some things you can focus on now. Other than that, if you enjoyed the video, go hit that like button. If you know a buddy who might need this video, go share it with them. And do subscribe if you're looking to improve as a footballer. Comment down below any feedback, any questions, anything that confuses you, and I'll get straight back to you. Click here for 10 effective skills that you can use to beat your defender.